Okay, I think that we're live now. So let me see if Facebook picks that up. Apparently not. Apparently not. So let me try this. It's supposed to go on everywhere. Okay. I'm not sure why my internet on my phone's not working. So it's always something, isn't it? There we go. Okay. There we go. There we go. Few minutes late, but better late than never, right? Here we go. I have my flowers here. Ta-da! Aren't they beautiful? Look how beautiful they are. And this one's gonna open up soon. In the store, there were so many of them, and it smelled so amazing. I mean, they smell amazing, but I have to put my nose in. So I have more in my living room, and I wanted this here with me. Well, there's a lot going on in the world today, isn't it? And I used to have this habit of always having flowers in the house, and life happens. Are there any habits that you guys have that bring joy to you? Um, that sometimes life happens and then you just forget about it, or you have no time to do it, and then you like to get back into it. So I'm just curious if that is the case for you. Okay. I have to come here. Mm. So I can see your comments. Hello, everybody. This is RC from Quiet Mind Light Center. Today is June 16th, 2025, and we are on episode 49. Hello, guys. It's nice to see you. Thank you for the lovely compliments. I so appreciate it. If you were here, we would share these beautiful flowers together to remind us that there is beauty all over the world. There is beauty in every single person, um, even if they don't see it within themselves. What we can do as other human beings is to notice their beauty and to remind them. Which reminds me of this story, which I'm sure you have heard, but it's nice to remember it. How there is a tribe in Africa that when somebody in their tribe does something bad, something wrong, instead of putting him or her in jail. They bring him to the center of the town, and everybody that knows him, and it's a small, it's not like, a town of 5,000 people. So most people know each other. Everybody that knows him or her tells them what good quality they have. It's like they're reminding the person that you are not the person who stole something or said something bad to somebody, um, acted on jealousy or anger or anything like that, um, who hurt somebody else maybe, but that your essence is really this particular person. So I know that our our cities are large, our countries are big, and it's really hard to do that right now. But our communities that we create, the circles that we create, people that we hang around with are not thousands of people. We do have a small community, and we can support each other and say what we truly see in someone else, compliment with sincerity, not flatter, right? So the energies have been intense. Um, and from what I hear, this week's not going to be easy. And next week, actually, this week's going to be very, very hard. And next week might lighten up just a little bit. So I will deal with the elephant in the room. There is a war going on between, supposedly, only between Israel and Iran. War is never an answer. We have a bunch of, it's interesting that even today in the US, I have to constantly be concerned about the words that I use because I am always trying to not create a division. I am always trying light to everyone that it is the division between us that is the issue, that we buy into it. We buy into the division. Um, Race, weight, hairstyle, religious beliefs, um, neighborhoods. I mean, there is nothing that they haven't Yeah, I have friends. I have friends in Iran. I have friends who live in Tehran who cannot leave the city. Everybody else is evacuating. One particular friend, her mom is elderly and her physical health is not well, which means that she cannot sit in the car for too long. She can only fly. The bumps in the car puts her in extreme pain. So she can only fly, and the airports are all shut down. So they are literally stuck in the city right now. I have another friend who actually lives in the US. Uh, she's an American citizen. She went back to visit family and friends, and she's stuck. And I haven't heard from her for a few days. No one has. So we don't know what's going on with her. Even with all of this, we need to remember something, that our soul always lives on. Our soul is a beautiful energy, beautiful consciousness. If you have awakened your consciousness, it will always live on no matter what. To lose people in the physical world because we want to hug them and we want to hear their voice, but the soul lives on. And that's the beauty of it. And the more we as individuals take responsibility for our own actions, for our own words, especially the ones that we're not happy with, it opens up like a portal to allow us to move through that space and elevate our energy. And every time we go through those spaces that are hard, we elevate our energy, we bring our frequency higher, and we get the opportunity to it over and over and over again with a thousand of different things. So if you had a charcoal in your hand, uh, a charcoal, let's pretend that um, this is a piece of charcoal, this pen. Um, if it's a new charcoal, you can burn it up. You can use it, you can burn it up, right? But if it's an old charcoal, right, you have to scrub it to get the diamond out, right? You have to gently, constantly rub it to get the diamond out of there. We're the same way. There is a diamond sitting in your heart that's waiting for you to embrace it, to reach it, almost like a puzzle. Think of your being as a 8,000 piece of puzzle, and you're putting it all together. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes you give up, Sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's lovely, sometimes it's joyful, sometimes you get angry, you get frustrated, you get annoyed. These are all the thousands of pieces, hundreds of pieces. And you keep putting all these pieces of puzzle. But if you have a piece of puzzle, I'm going to use this. This is the diamond. If you have a piece of puzzle that is, I wanted it to be dramatic. If you had a piece of puzzle that was anger or frustration or lack of self-esteem or lack of taking action or resentment or shame, guilt, and you said to yourself, that's not mine. That not mine. You're going to miss a piece of the puzzle from the 8,000 because you're throwing these pieces away. You're not acknowledging the truth about yourself. You will never be able to finish the puzzle. You will never be able to get down to the diamond part of you. You need to acknowledge every single piece of the puzzle in order to complete the puzzle and get to your beautiful diamond. We cannot only use the pieces of the puzzle that are joy and happiness and us being kind and doing volunteer work and us helping doing healing work. No, we can't just use those. You don't think we have had past lifetimes that we were bad people? We did bad things to other people? It's all about getting to the diamond part, to the diamond of your soul. Who wants to get to the diamond part of their soul? Anybody here? I do. No one? It's a different kind of energy today, isn't it? There has been a lot of clouds and rains. So much flooding in some parts of Virginia. People are literally, losing their cars. There's so much flood and water everywhere. This is not natural. Not so much of it so fast. So much of it, I mean, all over the world. Not natural. I'm sure have been floods all over throughout the centuries, and other weather disasters. Doesn't feel natural to me. I smell a rat. Not in my house, thank God. If anybody has a question, please go right ahead and ask. My question is, what is it that each of us need to focus on in order to live purposefully this week? Well, here's card number one. We need to tend to our home, to our bodies. Our home is our body is our home, right? And then it's not just the physical body, it's the emotional body, it's the mental body, it's the spiritual body, it's the physical body. Tend to it. The tree. Health, growing, right? What part of your bodies, what part of your life would you like to see blossom? Would you like to see grow? And what are you doing about it? Every single day, what are you doing about it? In 6 months, which will be end of December soon, what would you have done so your life would be different by then? What are the actions you're going to take now to make sure 6 months from now your life is in a better place? And the cross, burden. We don't have to carry the burden of other people anymore. Each of us, our soul loves so much. We take burden from other people in all different shapes and forms and ways. Maybe it's for 30 seconds, maybe it's for a few hours. Maybe it's the burden of the world of what's going on. We don't have to do that anymore. We can just process it and let it go. Process it for yourself. You cannot process it for someone else. It is their lesson in life, and they need to process it themselves. They need to let it go themselves. They need to process their stuff like you have done or you are doing. Don't carry other people's burden. Okay. Lisa's guides and master guides, what message would you like to give her? Lies, betrayal. My hair today is bothering me. Let's pick another card too. Let's see what else your guides would like to clarify this. Clouds, confusion. One of our favorite cards. I had a family member that was very close to me who would always lie. And when somebody close to you that you believe um, should have your back, should support you, and they lie purposefully. They're lying purposefully. They're manipulating purposefully. And it creates confusion. Because in the one hand, you're like, no, this person is my family member. Um, they shouldn't be doing these things. They shouldn't be treating me this way. But they are. And the confusion is also sometimes it takes time to realize that, hey, my wife or my husband, um, to accept this, right? Mother, father, whatever. To accept the fact that that's just who they are. But again, that is also one of these pieces, like puzzle pieces. And once you acknowledge it, once you accept it, this is here in my life now. And so it is. And then you put the piece of puzzle in the big puzzle, and you're done. And then there is improvement. Now, there are times that we find that the family member, I say family member because for me it was a family member, um, is lying, it's betraying, manipulating. Um, I had to acknowledge where I was doing it to myself. And one of the places that I was lying and betraying myself was not constantly being in a state of confusion, being in the fog, not looking through it, although there are always opportunities given. Once I realized that it was not just them a piece of the puzzle that are lying and betraying, but there are parts of me in my life that I am doing this to myself. then there is an improvement in my own mind, right? Mentally, emotionally, psychologically. And so, of course, I can only explain it through my point of view. Um, but it's a good thing to always do the checks and balances. Like, let's say, Lisa, let's pretend you are you have somebody, family member close to you, who you find out is betraying you by lying to you. Um, you find that out. You walk through the cloud and you find that out, and you accept it, and you create a new relationship with this person. Your life improves because you're not bound to those lies and betrayers anymore. Then it's a wonderful thing from that point on, and say, okay, I'm going to check and balance myself now. Now that that is taken care of, let me check and balance myself. Where am I maybe not seeing the truth? There's another piece of the puzzle. You check, 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 until you say, okay, there's no place, or yeah, maybe over here a little bit, but I'm not worried about it right now. I have other things to do. Life is interesting. Yes, we sure can rise our vibration this year. We're giving an opportunity every single time to do this with every single situation. We're given an opportunity to raise our vibration. And so, with this, since there is nobody else that would like a card, and my cards, some of them just flew off, I am going to bid you good night, and I will see you next Monday night, the 23rd. Uh, if you have the opportunity to pray, please do so for everyone, that is involved in the war, for all the in all countries, um, who have or may lose someone. Let's pray that this war ends with the minimal casualties and brings more peace and freedom that we can pray for, right? That's something else that we go through, right? As a society, we're going through this hard time. I keep seeing, visualizing a child being born, how hard it is for the mother to go through the pregnancy, right? It's not always rosy. The childbirth is not only difficult for the mother, but it's difficult for the child, because the child has to leave its comfort location and be someplace it has never been before, and eat and breathe in a new way that it has never done before, or that remembers. So that's what I keep seeing, and hoping that this war is going to give birth maybe to the freedom of the Iranian people and the end of wars for a very long time. That would be wonderful. Okay, everybody, have an absolutely wonderful week. Stay grounded. Um, take care of yourselves. Love yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Be patient with yourselves. And go get some flowers for yourself. Bye.